Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, aka the M.O.B podcast. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze the players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. How are you this Sunday afternoon, Ja?
I'm good.
That's good. I'm good as well. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone will have a good day as usual. Not much happened last night, but still enough to cover the games and talk about what happened. So we're just gonna go right into it with starting off with the Nuggets up against the 76ers. The 76ers, because the Sixers had only 7 players playing for them because everyone else was out or either COVID, which is Steph Curry, rest and injury. Ben Simmons didn't play. Tobias Harris didn't play. Embiid didn't play. Obviously, we just said Steph Curry didn't play. So that left them with just about like 4 no names and 3 role players. As you would expect, the Nuggets won. The Nuggets should have better won. You know, it would have been an embarrassing performance if they lost. They really started, but what surprised me was how well the 76ers played. They played with, I mean, they're a bunch of young guys, so they played with so much energy, and they was out there hustling, and they made the best of their opportunity. And Tyrese Maxey, that's his name.
Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, he made the best out of his opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, then next man up. I mean, that's more of a football term, but it applies for the NBA as well. Whenever something goes down, you got to be ready. He was ready. Yeah, I think 39 points last night, and he was balling out.
Yeah.
He was balling out.
Well, yeah, you just said it. Look at, obviously the Nuggets should have most definitely won this game. Again, 7 players on the Sixers team. Due to injury and due to personal COVID situations, only 7 players were able to suit up. And and let's be honest, the Sixers fought hard though. Let's be honest, they fought hard. They tried to make this a close game. You know, they kept up with the 76. I said 76. They kept up with the Nuggets that whole first half. But yet, of course, fatigue and everything will eventually catch up. And and you could basically see it. But the main story here was Tyrese Maxey. Like, he was just straight up cooking. He was balling. He was showing flashes of what we could probably see from him in the future.
Yeah. We had never heard of who he was. And I think this was a great opportunity to show off his potential and what he can bring to this team. Maybe this will give him a chance to get more minutes from Doc Rivers, but we'll have to see on in the future. But this was a great start.
Yeah,
that's a great start to earn your chance, because not many players make it to the league, so every opportunity counts.
Exactly.
And so he made a big impression with this opportunity, along with the other guys that was there. Tony Bradley, I think, came off the bench. He had a big night, a double-double. Of course, Danny Green and Dwight Howard had a good game. I mean, they're role players and they've been in the league for years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was really shocked in how they came to play, even with just 7 players, and most of them, no one know who they were, and it felt like they were really trying to win this game. At least one team in Philly was trying to win the game. I won't talk about the other thing. But yeah, I was really impressed. I was really impressed with this young team, and I think that kind of shows off the system that they have in Philly right now.
Yeah,
and that even proves my point when they lost to the Nets. Just it was a disappointing loss, because when they come out like this without their best players and without nobody else, just 7 players, and they could do this. And that's why I had those high. That's why I'm giving those high hopes for the Sixers. That's why or not high hopes, but like the spotlight mainly on them. I'm having my attention focused on them because I know what they can do. And when they don't do that, it's disappointing. It's upsetting.
Yeah, but again, when you got a player coach like Doc Rivers, it opens up. He makes them feel free.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk much about the Nuggets. I mean, damn well you better win. There's nothing really to say. We're not gonna praise them or anything like that. We just gotta move on to the next topic. But yeah, good way to fight for the Sixers, even with their roster limits.
Yeah.
All right. The next primetime game that we'll be talking about that happened featured the Miami Heat up against the Washington Wizards, the no defense Washington Wizards. And now no Bradley Beal, no Russell Westbrook Washington Wizards. So this was pretty much a,
A run.
not an easy win. It wasn't an easy win, but this should have been a for sure win for the Heat. And the Heat did come out with the win. But the Wizards were able to climb back into the game late in that fourth quarter, but I mean, they didn't have no closer. Didn't have nobody there. So the Heat win 128-124. Let me get your thoughts on this game.
Oh, let's be honest here too. The Wizards did put up a good fight without having their two star players. Also, they were able. Again, they can't guard a parked car, but they could they could still score some buckets. Like, you know what I mean? They're a really good offensive team. We have highlighted this so many times, and they were able to keep on Miami just because of the fact that Miami also had like a lot of turnovers too, and the Wizards were able to take advantage of that. But Miami Heat being who they are and having all their stars intact, it's just like, let's be honest, they put up a close fight, but the Wizards had no chance. They had no chance.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Bradley Beal, Russell, whether they're in or out the lineup, their defense still sucks. I mean, I've been looking at the games they played throughout the season, and there's only one time they only gave up less than 110.
Yeah.
That was against Timberwolves, and they gave up 109 or 108. So that should tell you all. Just goes to show you how this Wizards defense is just absolutely atrocious. As you said, they can't guard a parked car, quoting what Bradley Beal stated. But I like the fight out of them. Of course, as you said, offensively, yeah, they're one of the best teams offensively. But when they're just, I just can't get over the defense, And especially when you have that bad of defense, you're not stopping this Miami Heat team coming off going to the finals. Goran Dragic had a great game. Jimmy Butler had a big move balling out, but Tyler Hero had his best game so far of the season, if I can recall, right? Best game so far of the season. Yeah. Dropping 31. The Larry Bird's reincarnate.
Don't disrespect.
And as the media wants to portray him,
don't disrespect Larry Bird, please.
I'm just saying that's how the media wants him to be.
I don't care how the media want it. The media is pawns. Let me stop.
Don't do that.
Do not compare him to Larry Bird, though. That's disrespectful.
I know. But yeah, he did have a huge game, and him, Dragic, Jimmy, and the rest of the Heat team were able to lead, to lead their Miami Heat team to a win against this tough, rugged, great offensive team, but without Beal, without Westbrook, and their defense, which has been terrible. They was able to just win this game.
Yeah. So it needs to be said about that.
Yep. All right. Any player performances, anything that you want to talk about, any, games that happened that you want to go over, John? I'll let you speak.
Oh, you got the Hawks versus the Hornets, and let's just say two great young teams going at it in the East, for the battle in the Eastern Conference, of course.
The real Melo.
Casual talk, but what I was saying, but yeah, the play that you just highlighted, the real Melo was able to post up his first ever triple double, the youngest player to do it in history right now, and due to the fact of him just having that kind of performance, it gave a lot of energy. The Hornets team always have energy. It looked like every game we've seen them play, and they always had energy, but that second half was really theirs. Like the Hawks couldn't really keep up. Like they tried, and don't get me wrong, they were still giving them buckets, but it was all Hornets right there, all because of that dude LaMelo Ball. But there's nothing else that needs to be said about that one, right? Like, he's looking like the better brother out of all the Ball brothers, and like, that like he made the right decision. Wow. So you got Magic Johnson who picked one brother, it didn't work out, and then you got Michael Jordan pick the other brother, and it worked out. It's looking like it's working out.
It's looking like it's
It's
only been
looking
a
like
few games. It's not rushed to talk, but yeah, LaMelo really did have a great game, and as I said from last night's or last episode's podcast, he's really like letting the game come to him. Like he's not forcing anything. Now he's the youngest player ever to have a triple double.
yeah.
And everybody clowns him, including us, when he had 0 points in his first game. But I'm glad that he's been able to bounce, bounce off of that. Like react to that, and he's been playing well ever since.
Yeah.
And his productivity
Yeah.
has been helping this Hornets team. And now this Hornets team, I feel like now they're starting to come to their own, trying to find their identity.
Yeah.
Which each passing game, they're figuring out more and more about themselves.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I always say about LaMelo, I mean, he has natural. He just has natural instincts about him, just natural instincts about him when it comes to playing the game.
Yeah, a great win by the Hornets and a big time performance by LaMelo Ball. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh well, I want to talk about the Spurs versus T-Wolves. Let's be honest, both of these teams came out big time firing, especially the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves was going crazy.
Yeah, they came out with there's some power. They came out with some weaponry.
Carl Anthony Towns came back first game back, and they was just balling. They was hitting shots from everywhere, all over the court. But but they couldn't get the win because you want to know why? DeMar DeRozan closed.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray.
Why you guys like? Let me talk about my guy. Let me talk about.
All right, fine. Talk about your guy.
He was just straight up balling, cooking, like as if he was back in Toronto. Well, he's always been doing this, to be honest, even when he came to San Antonio, so it don't even matter. But he was like, just getting bucket after bucket, and when he couldn't get a score, you already know my son had to hit somebody else with that wide open opportunity. He was just doing everything, especially in that fourth quarter in that overtime. So I don't know what you got to say. What you got to say? I know you love to violate me and violate him. So what you got to say?
Listen, first of all, I just be joking around, all right? I don't got no hate for DeMar. I know he's a great player. I know he's one of the best players to be in the Raptors uniform. Of course, he's one of the great mid-range shooters. Just calm down. First of all, stop. Don't make that face. You look like Voldemort. Second of all, he did have a good game. Yes, he had a great game. He's not the main reason why they won. I mean, well, he might be the main reason, but he's not the only reason why they won, though. Kendall Johnson stepped up. DeJounte Murray stepped up. Patty Mills had another big game coming off the bench for them. And even though Cat came back, and he came back with some force, and now you see how well this team is with him.
Yeah.
Even with that, this was a great win by the Spurs. The well-coached win by the Spurs, of course. I mean, look at that coach. And they just have these great, young players that they can really, build upon for the future. I really like what they have in DeJounte Murray and Kendall Johnson and Lonnie Walker.
Yeah.
They have some good young players down there in San Antonio.
Well, yeah, again, when you're playing in a culture like that, under a system like that, with a head coach who's legendary like Greg Popovich, these young guys develop so well, and it's just But when I look at one specific person, I always look at DeJounte Murray, and I say I've been waiting for him to make this jump for a good minute now.
Mm-hmm.
I think you thought the same thing. I think a lot of people who have watched the Spurs have been waiting for this.
Well, I was waiting for it, but I'm not going to blame that much so on him because remember, 2 seasons ago, or was it last season? He had an ACL injury or a leg injury.
I think that was 2 seasons ago.
It was 2 seasons ago in preseason, and he injured his leg. I think torn ACL, and he was supposed to be out for the rest of the season. So that kind of set him back as a torn ACL would.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Last season, I wasn't expecting anything from him
Yeah.
to have that big jump. Now he's getting back to that form. He's looked like his leg is much better now. He find his rhythm. He can score. He's a good passer, and I really like his play now. Now I think that he's starting to make that next step.
Yeah.
But all right, as always, now it's time for tonight's predictions. You know what we do, John, rapid fire like we always do. So let's go right into it. All right. First off, the Knicks or the Hornets.
Hornets.
That's not a bad pick, but I got the Knicks. I think they could bounce back. The
Yeah.
Grizzlies or the Cavaliers?
Grizzlies. No, I mean Caps. Sorry.
Yeah, I got the Cavs. The Bucks or the Magic?
Bucks.
Bucks. The Suns or the Wizards?
Wizards.
You got the Wizards?
I'm going to choose them.
Okay. When Devin Booker drop 80, we'll see. I got the Suns. 76ers or the Hawks? I don't know. As of this recording, we don't know the status of the 76ers right now. So
Hawks. Because the 76ers might have like 6 players playing.
yeah, as of right now, yeah, I got the Hawks. The first primetime game that we'll be talking about, and the only primetime game we'll be talking about, features the New Orleans Pelicans up against the Dallas Mavericks. Who do you have?
Pelicans, because they need a bounce back win after what happened last time.
Well, I got the Mavs because the momentum is swinging their way.
Yeah.
The Raptors or the Trailblazers?
Blazers.
The Blazers. And lastly, the Pacers or the Kings?
Pacers.
I got the Kings.
The Kings fell off. I don't know. They started.
Yeah, I'm hoping this game they can bounce back.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it might go downward spiral, as you know they are the kings of ineptitude. So, but I still have some little faith in them.
Yeah.
Unlike the Raptors. But all right, now this it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
Just real quickly, I just want to say this because I've been having this on my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Wizards are now 2-8 now with this loss, right? It's still early, just like we said last time. But if this team want to start winning games, Westbrook, instead of him putting up triple doubles, he just got to score more. He got to score the same amount as Bradley Beal. If this team want to get close to winning. And I'll go in more in detail with that next episode.
All right, we shall see. As of this recording, I don't think we know if Westbrook is playing tonight's game, right?
No, we don't know. There hasn't been no status, but
yeah. But either way, even if you don't play tonight, or because he didn't play last night, I'm thinking you're talking about just in general. He needs to score more.
Yeah.
Because they were 2-7 before. So yeah. But like you said, you'll expand on that the next podcast. So that being said, and for now, thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And follow our AG page down in the description below.
And once again, I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this was the Mind of Basketball podcast.